Here I go, here I go, here I go. Yeah, here I go, here I go, here I go.
Before we get into today's episode of the pod, you guys have to subscribe because I'm looking at you and you're not subscribed to the channel yet, and you have to hit the notification bell because you're not going to know when I post if you don't have notifications when I post. Make sure to like the video, you guys, so I know you guys are enjoying these episodes. Make sure to follow my social medias. I will pop them on the screen so you can stay up to date with everything to do with this podcast. And then don't forget to check out the Spotify version. The link will be in the description for that as well. Finally, I am a sports writer, so make sure to check out the take.sport.blog so you can read the best sports articles ever. You will not regret clicking that link, so make sure to click that link below. But let's go ahead and get into today's pod, you guys. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Take Podcast. I am your host, Jackson Burleson, of course, and in today's episode, we're going to be talking about my top 5 teams in March Madness. The brackets are officially out, so if you don't have a bracket pool, go ahead and join the Take March Madness. The link will be in the description to fill out a bracket. Go there so you can fill out your perfect bracket. But we're going to start out with my 5th ranked team of March Madness, the Tennessee Volunteers. Now, Tennessee is ranked 17th in the country. I know they didn't make it far in the SEC tournament. They made it to the semifinals and lost to Missouri. I understand that, but it's okay. I mean, they still are a very good shooting team, and they're also the second ranked defense in the entire country. So they know how to lock up teams. They only allow 56 points per game. That's incredible. And the one thing I really do like about Tennessee is Santiago Vescovi. He is the best shooter in the entire country. He shoots 36% from 3, and he can catch fire at any given moment. That is what is very important when it comes to this NCAA tournament, because you need to be on fire. You need to have one guy that can catch fire easily and just not miss any shots. And Santiago Vescovi is that guy for the Tennessee Volunteers. And, you know, at the end of the day, basketball is a team game. It's not just revolved around one player. Tennessee has other players besides one guy to be able to go and get them a bucket. I mean, they don't have the luxury of having an NBA prospect who's about to be a top 5 pick. I mean, they've got, experience in this tournament, and they've got size. They know how to rebound well as well. They get a lot of second chance points. That is one thing that Tennessee is very good at. They're very good at getting second opportunities, pushing the ball in transition, kicking it to the corners, shooting threes. They're not the best team offensively, stats-wise, but defensively, that really makes up for a lot of things. They turn over the basketball. They give themselves second chance opportunities. And in this tournament, second chance opportunities are huge. Like, if you want to make a deep run in this tournament, you've got to be able to rebound, and you've got to be able to shoot the three-point shot at an elite clip. And Tennessee can do 2 of those things on top of playing elite defense. They can make it to the Sweet 16. They can make some noise. There is a very high possibility that Tennessee can do that. So I got the Tennessee Volunteers at number 5 on my list. I think Tennessee is the most underrated team in this entire tournament. They are being completely slept on due to their loss against Missouri in the SEC Championship. But they will be dangerous. Trust me. They're going to catch fire from the three-point line. Watch. But at number 4, I got the defending national champions, the Kansas Jayhawks. Now, the Kansas Jayhawks, they have so many unbelievable players that can get a bucket. I mean, they have Jalen Wilson. They have Grady Dick. They have DeJuan Harris. They've got a lot of guys that can go get them a bucket, that can score for them at any given moment. Those are their 3 stars. And Kansas, they shoot lights out as well. Now, the knock on Kansas is, they lost in the Big 12 tournament, but they still are a number 1 seed, and they're going to be extra motivated because of Bill Self, because he wasn't there to coach them for that Big 12 championship game. They're going to be ready to go for that guy. I'm telling you right now, Kansas will make a deep run in this tournament because Bill Self was not there to coach them in the Big 12 tournament. That is going to be something that is going to really motivate them. And motivation in March Madness is a really, really big thing for teams. If you have just a little thing that motivates a team, that changes everything because they play with heart. They're playing like it's their last game, which it is. But they take it with more intensity and they take it to heart. And they go out there and play for their coach who was not able to be there to try to win them a Big 12 championship. That's the bottom line. Now, Kansas, they got Jalen Wilson. I love Jalen Wilson's game because I think Jalen Wilson is going to be very critical to Kansas making a deep run because Jalen Wilson, he can go get his own bucket any point he wants to. He can take over game anytime he wants to. He can go to the basket. He can shoot the 3-point shot. He can pass the basketball. He can affect his other teammates as well. I just like Jalen Wilson as a facilitator. I mean, he's a really good facilitator, and he's the guy that they're going to have to go to in the big clutch time moments because he can drive the basket and pretty much do whatever he wants. Now, Grady Dick, he reminds me a lot of like what Grayson Allen used to play like, a 3-point shooter that can take it to the hole, shoot a mid-range shot. He's not just a strictly catch and shoot, coming off pin downs. I mean, he can take it off the dribble. He can do a lot of different things. I think Grady Dick is going to have to shoot the ball very well every single game for Kansas to have a chance at making a deep run as well. But DeJuan Harris, he is a great guard that can control the tempo. He can distribute it. I mean, he doesn't have to score to be effective. And that's what I like about this Kansas team because not everyone has to score to be effective and make an impact on the game for the Kansas Jayhawks. And I have him at number 4 on this list. And at number 3, I got the Texas Longhorns. Now, the Texas Longhorns beat the Kansas Jayhawks to win the Big 12 tournament. So they're going to be riding in with a lot of momentum. And they are a very athletic team. They're long. They are very good at blocking shots. And they're very physical down low. I mean, they love the post-up game. I mean, they have Dylan Dishu, who really reminds me of Obi Toppin. He is honestly unbelievable when he gets under the basket. He can pretty much do any kind of floater, any kind of hook shot he wants to. I mean, he just has his way down there. And I think in this tournament, he's going to have a big-time tournament that is really going to put the spotlight on him and make him a legit first-round pick. I mean, I just see it. I just see Obi Toppin in his game. But this is a very long team. They are big. They got guards that are 6'4", 6'5", that can really affect the game. And they're physically dominant. I mean, both times Texas played Kansas this year, both times they beat Kansas this year, Texas won by 20 points both times. So Texas can beat the really, really good teams. They really are going to be a threat. And I think Texas can make the Final Four. I mean, they are going to be super, super dangerous when it comes to being in Houston and playing any team in the country. I mean, they are that good. And it honestly surprised me because I was like, Kansas is going to beat them. Like, it was just during the regular season. Like, they just had a hard time. They're going to get it together. But Texas has got Kansas's number. And if they've got Kansas's number, they're going to have every other team's number in this tournament. I got Texas at number 3 on this list. And at number 2, I got the Gonzaga Bulldogs. They have no pressure this year. They are still a very good team. They still have Drew Timme, one of the best players in the country, who is now the all-time leading scorer in Gonzaga history. And they beat Alabama this year, who is the number 1 overall seed in this tournament. And Gonzaga is the number 1 offense in the country. I mean, Drew Timme is such a great college player. I don't know how he's going to translate to NBA, but regardless of how he translates to NBA, you got to admit he's at least a top 3 player in college basketball history. I mean, he's very good at passing the basketball, but he's a unathletic guy that just has elite footwork. He can really make a defender miss. He just scores with ease. I mean, he just has all the right technique, all the right footwork, all the right moves to be able to make an impact on every single game. Drew Timme is going to dominate this NCAA tournament. He has to be able to be the guy, because without Drew Timme, Gonzaga is going nowhere. But throughout these last couple years, Drew Timme has showed up and he has shown out and he has proved that he's the best player in the country. And Drew Timme is the best player in the country. He's got the experience. He has been in big time moments in this NCAA tournament. Now he's just kind of got to, show everybody else how to win, because Gonzaga gets a lot of new guys every year. And this year they have a lot of good guards who can really manage a game and revolve the offense around Drew Timme. I mean, that's all they have to do. The guards on this Gonzaga team just have to be able to manage it, not turn the ball over, because if they do that, Gonzaga is going to make the Final Four and they could possibly win a national championship. I just really want Mark Few to get one, because he's one of the all-time greats in college basketball coaching history, and he deserves one. He really deserves a national championship. And Gonzaga as a program has been so good for so long. They've been a blue blood school for many, many years, and they just haven't gotten the big one. And this is the year that Gonzaga will win the national title. Mark my words. They have no pressure. They have nothing. And they have Drew Timme, and Drew Timme is going to go out his senior year with a national championship. There we go. And I got Gonzaga at number 2 on this list. And at number 1, I got Alabama. Now, this is kind of weird to see Alabama as the number 1 overall seed for basketball, because usually they're a football school. But they're the number 1 overall seed because of Brandon Miller. Brandon Miller is an unbelievable talent. He's the most talented player in this entire country. He is honestly a very underrated passer. He is amazing. The way he just makes his team better, he's just kind of dishing it out. He doesn't have to score every time, even though he can score whenever he wants to. He can go get his own bucket. But he is a great facilitator, which is why he will be a top 3 pick in the NBA draft. Because Brandon Miller, he knows how to make his teammates better. And that is something that NBA scouts look at. And you can see it in the SEC tournament. He is passing the ball. He is looking for open guys, cutting to the basket, not always looking for his own shot, dominating every aspect of the game. That is what Brandon Miller has done and will continue to do all season. Now, regardless of what's been going on outside of basketball for Brandon Miller, you cannot deny that this guy is motivated to prove to everybody that he is the number 1 overall pick. And it's not just him. They have a lot of really experienced guards like Javon Quinterly. Javon Quinterly is going to really help them, facilitate the floor, make sure that everyone is in sync, because they got quite a bit of talented freshmen that haven't really been at this level, including Brandon Miller. Javon Quinterly, he's played in some big-time games back in Villanova and for Alabama. So, and you guys forget, Javon Quinterly was a McDonald's All-American. He was ranked top 25 in the country in high school. He was literally going to Villanova. He was supposed to be a top 10 draft pick and be a one and done, but now he's a senior at Alabama, and his career has completely changed. But I think Javon Quinterly is still an NBA player. He can still go to the basket. He still has that little jelly fam like he was used to. He can shoot the ball. He's a good passer, but he also has the best ball handling in the entire country Javon Quinterly has. That is a fact. That is why Alabama is such a good team. I mean, they have the 7th ranked offense, but they're also very good at defense. They got a lot of guys down low that can block shots and protect the rim. And I think Alabama is an automatic national championship team. Now, will they win it? That's a different discussion, but they will be in the national championship and have a chance to at least cut down the nets, just because of how talented Brandon Miller is. He can do it all for them, and expect a huge tournament from this guy. But those are my top 5 teams in the NCAA tournament this year. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know who you guys have winning the entire thing, and fill out the bracket on the Take March Madness pool. I will say it again. Link will be in the description. So click that link and join it and share it with all your friends. But I am your host, Jackson Burleson, and I really appreciate you guys for tuning into this episode of the Take Podcast. Let's go. March Madness is here.
Yeah. Talk to me, baby. Talk to me nice. I'm from another world, baby, yeah. Broadway paradise. They think I'm way too cold, cause I put my heart up on ice.